Welcome to the Movie Overload podcast, where we will be discussing 100 essential films.
It's
From A Trip to the Moon to Parasite and everything in between, except for Woody Allen.
Boo.
good.
Fuck that guy.
Boo.
Hey, wait. I like Woody Allen movies.
Hey, just get it.
Just kidding. That was a
Because not
bit.
good.
That was a bit.
That was
I'm
a
just
bit.
kidding. Oh, no.
You're canceled.
I need a list of how many episodes I've said the intro on smoothly.
I think we had like this like run in the middle.
Yeah, where I like actually
Yeah.
had it down.
Um,
Not
so
today.
you're Hannah.
I'm Hannah.
No. You're Hannah.
No.
Me? I'm Hannah. I'm Hannah. Oh, just kidding. Forget I said that. I'm forgetting the line. Look at me. I'm the Hannah now.
Fine, then I'm Huntero.
Oh.
Huntero.
I'm Huntero, you're Hananana.
I am Turkey Sandwich.
I love you, Turkey Sandwich. I'm your biggest
Noted.
fan. My biggest
The name tag
supporter.
helps.
Hello,
The
my
one
name
on your
is
chest
Turkey
that just
Sandwich.
says, hello, my name is Turkey Sandwich.
It's
I have
written in
mayo?
purple Sharpie.
And mustard.
It's pretty good.
And controversially, relish.
Oh.
Which is why a
That
lot of
sounds
people
pretty
have
good.
problems with me.
So you're basically a
have-
beast turkey sandwich.
Do you have
Yeah.
cheese?
I love cheese. Please have cheese.
I have cheese, but it's like a crumbly blue cheese.
I don't like that.
So it's like
It's like not good.
it doesn't really go together
This
very
is
well.
a pretty different turkey sandwich.
It's a very
Like,
different-
I'd still try.
And by the way, it's not like lunch meat turkey either. This is like leftover Thanksgiving turkey situation.
Interesting.
And for bread, ciabatta roll. So that's actually kind of good. So it's a mixed bag. I'm a
Okay.
mixed bag of good and
Can you
bad.
spell ciabatta?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
CIABATTA. Is that correct?
I think that's right. At the coffee shops I used to work at, people would try to order the breakfast sandwiches that were made with those, and they'd be like, "Can I have the ciabatta,
Really?
the
That would be me.
beta rolls?" And I was just like, "Yes, you can."
I would do that.
Because I don't blame you for not pronouncing the CIA as cha. Because what the heck?
It doesn't make any sense, but also I feel like the only times that I read something aloud incorrectly is because I'm bad at speaking
Yeah.
That's
and I trip over my own tongue.
And you're like, I didn't ask for this.
But
Better, I guess.
I think that makes me good English major candidate because I don't know why English grammar, or specifically the spelling that technically doesn't make any sense, makes sense to me. But it also makes me a terrible English teacher, I found out, because I was trying to help my siblings learn to read. And I was like, no, you know what this is. You get it.
You son of a bitch.
Because
Stop playing dumb.
I, for some reason, have difficulty believing that people have to learn to read. Even though
It's
it's
valid.
not debatable.
It is not.
People have to learn to read. I can't remember learning to read
I believe.
because my
it.
sister was just, I guess, very good at teaching me things early on. So I learned all that stuff before I went to school.
Kids
Right.
these days are just stupid.
See, I'm like, you're just not
You're
trying.
dumb.
You're clearly not trying.
It's all
because
your
you know
fault.
how to read.
That's so funny. Well, and some kids, they have like a really sweet spot. Like, I think Hunter learned how to learn to read much earlier than me because like I fought it longer, and he was just like, yes, reading, and soaked it up like a sponge. So it just happened. And I was like, no, wait till I'm 5. And then they did.
Whoa.
Because I was like, I don't want to be smart. I want to be stupid.
Well, okay, that's the weird thing, is because that's kind of how my older sister was. But I don't know why she was like that, but also she was the one who taught me how to read before I could remember it. So it's like she knew how, and then she like deliberately didn't practice it, I guess, until she had to struggle through that kind of thing in school.
Interesting.
Teaching someone else how to do something ingrains it in yourself
It's
more
true.
than any other method.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Because I had to help this like 5-year-old girl I used to take care of learn how to read. And she'd be like, oh, I don't want to read. And she'd whine and like throw herself on the couch like a Disney princess. And be like, come on, let's do this thing. And she'd be like, fine. And then she would just have to sound out every word so slowly. She was like so mentally tired by the end of the book. And I was like, I get it. This sucks.
I mean, I'm mentally tired just being around somebody doing that, you know?
Exactly. It's like learning how to play an instrument.
Right.
It just is so hard at
Yeah.
first.
And I guess if I had been given like piano lessons earlier on, I'm probably the kind of person that would also be like, you don't need to learn how to sight read. It's just obvious. Just play it.
Just look at it.
Except
You dummy.
I can't do it. I try so hard and I suck at it.
I'm the worst at music.
Sight reading is awful.
Terrible.
Like I don't see, now I'm the opposite. I don't believe that people actually can do it. Like if somebody's sight reading
You're like,
something, I'm
"It's
like,
not
no,
real."
you know that song already. Either you've heard it before or you're practicing it beforehand. There's no way that you're just playing it now, reading it off the page.
No
That's not
way.
possible.
It's a lie. It's a magic trick. Hunter and I are twinning.
Oops.
Man,
Oops.
what a good visual gag this is.
If only we had a visual representation. Speaking of music, have you guys heard of any good musicals lately?
No, they don't exist.
I
Hey,
really like.
hey.
I don't think I'm a musical person.
I could make a really offensive joke right now.
Ah,
Wait,
do it.
I really like this movie, The Greatest Showman. It's really good. I knew it would offend one of you. And
I
probably
love
people
that
listening.
movie.
I know. I'm sorry.
and probably
Moving
most
on.
of our audience does too.
I know. I'm sorry.
Freaking love that movie.
I'm moving on.
It's Zac Efron for me.
Isn't Zendaya in it?
She is.
See, that sounds good.
And also, Hugh Jackman is it's just iconic. Like
He's a good dude.
Hugh Jackman, I just want him to be my like best friend, my adopted father. I don't know, something.
My dad.
Rolling with my homies, Hugh Jackman,
Man,
Indeed.
that would be pretty awesome.
right?
I'm just imagining him like kind of just sitting around here all the time in this house,
He would
just
just be
hanging
so
out.
cool. He'd be
Yeah.
like so good at conversations, and then sometimes he'd be like, "Hey, I'm in the mood to like sing and break out into a dance number," and he'd be like, "I'm in," and then you'd be like,
That's
"Hey, I'm
cool.
really mad at this person. I want to go like claw their car." He'd be like, "I'm in."
Yeah,
You know,
let's
like
do it.
he just he
Yeah.
has variety.
Do you want to go on a Target run? And then you go on a Target run, but it's like, you know, pitch black outside. It's like 10:30 p.m. And he
Yes.
breaks out into song in the Target. But he's like so charismatic that like some of the employees get in on it too.
Right?
And
It's
there's
just
like
magical.
basically a full like enchanted kind of like
Yes.
dance number in
Mm,
the real world. And you're just, I mean,
Living
I'm
it.
enjoying it, but like, how did you do this?
like wow. But I'm saying he can also be like a good bodyguard,
Yeah.
like good
guess.
Wolverine vibes.
Yeah, you know, you go downtown with him. Some weird guy hits on you, and he just decks him.
He just
He doesn't even like look at him.
Claws
He just
their face.
boom. That's
yeah.
it.
Oh wow.
Lights out. So,
What a man.
You know what's,
What
what's
an
wild?
ally.
Apparently that movie came out 3 years ago.
Whoa.
And
No
also,
way.
according to the director's Letterboxd page, he is apparently on board to do the Naruto movie.
Wait, really?
I guess.
That's really weird.
I don't know.
That's weird. I didn't even see The Greatest Showman because
I didn't either.
I listened to some of the soundtrack, and at the time, it wasn't my kind of thing. I think I might be more into it now, but at the time, I was like, not my thing. I was very pretentious.
It's
3 years
definitely
ago.
still not my thing.
But
I am.
also, it was because of the
I am
competition with La
biased.
La Land, which I really
I was gonna
liked.
say La La Land is still far superior.
And speaking of La La Land, a movie that is like almost directly inspired by today's movie. Sound of
Yes.
Music.
Yes.
What? No, we're covering
Sound of Music.
Whoa.
Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the rain.
That's the movie. Hooray.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. From 1952. It's just episode 21, I think.
Ooh, there's a
And
couple
we're
of
already
really
at
modern pop
1952.
songs called Singing in the Rain, and
Whoa.
they're just such a bop.
I found that when I was researching this because everything was like, did you mean to search for the song? And I was like, which one?
You're like, this new song? Isn't
What?
there like a Rihanna one?
Weird.
No, wait, no, not that
That's
one.
Umbrella.
Singing in the Rain. There's this one that the Glee cast covers, and it's so good. I can't remember who. Well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Oh, wait, Shane Harper has one. Do you remember him? He plays Teddy's
Yeah.
boyfriend in Good Luck Charlie.
Oh my
More
gosh.
importantly,
Whoa.
he's in those movies.
God's not dead.
He's Josh Whedon. That's his name
And
in those movies.
Did no one think 2 seconds about that?
Josh Whedon?
Josh Whedon.
Oh, God.
No relation to a certain man.
Anyway.
To a certain other not fun time movie thing.
Wow, he's blonde now.
God,
Oh no.
that feels weird.
Mm-mm. Not
I
allowed.
kind of want to...
Is he going for like Sterling Knight, Chad Dylan Cooper vibes now? Is he just
I guess. Oh, I might have
That's
lied.
the second time
I think I lied a little bit.
you lied.
Uh-oh.
It's
Oh.
called Dancing in the Rain.
Oh.
But the Glee one is Singing in the Rain.
It's all right.
Well, that's still a line from
Forgive
the
you.
song because Gene Kelly's like, I'm singing and dancing in the rain.
Yes, because listen,
So-
I'm gonna literally play this for you. This is so important for the podcast. Isn't that a vibe
That's
from
it.
the movie?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Shane Harper, get it. And then it picks up and is overly happy.
I was gonna
That's not
ask.
overly happy.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have heard this song. Yeah.
Interesting. I was gonna be
Gives me
like,
weird
um,
vibes from when I was young.
I was gonna be like, why it sound like that? And then I realized that it was just low quality on purpose. That was the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I got it now.
So this is one of my favorite movies.
Anyway,
It's good. I think it's the best musical, but surprisingly, it's also kind of not like it is a musical, but it's also not like a traditional movie musical.
This is true.
And I will go into it because it's fun.
Let's
But I'll
get
start
into
with
it.
the abstract thing because
Oh yeah,
Why
structure.
So often considered the greatest musical film of all time, Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen's 1952 classic Singin' in the Rain is a romantic comedy centered around Hollywood's awkward transition from silent films to sound, featuring wild sets and dance numbers, as well as terrific performances from Debbie Reynolds, Gene Hagen, Donald O'Connor, and Kelly himself. Singin' in the Rain's popularity among critics and audiences alike has only continued to grow over the 68 years since its release.
That's crazy.
Weird. Anyway, Singin' in the Rain. It's a movie. It's also kind of a jukebox musical.
I thought you were gonna say it's a movie.
oh what?
Bitch,
I should have said that.
suck it.
I'm going to edit that in.
Okay,
I'm
good.
going to edit you saying that into the end of my life.
Awesome, perfect.
What is a jukebox musical?
Yes, elaborate.
So, a jukebox musical is a musical constructed to use songs that were previously written that the studio already has the rights to.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you're just trying to go from thing to thing,
Cool.
as opposed to a musical that, all of the songs are like written to go together. Which means that in general, jukebox musicals tend to feel kind of weird because they're bouncing between really random things. However,
I definitely noticed that watching it.
So they just had the songs before and then kind of made a story to go with the songs.
right,
Okay.
but
But
it's
not even-
it's half
not
a
even
jukebox
really,
musical
kinda.
because some of the songs were original for the film,
Right. Got to
but
tie it together.
they were also all kind of written by the same person.
That's cool.
It's like it's kind of a jukebox musical. It's kind of not. It's hard to explain. I guess technically it is, but not in a traditional sense. Because I mean, I guess we'll get into the pre-production of how this movie was constructed and whatever. But I think it's probably best to go through a plot summary first.
Sure.
So when I mention certain sequences,
yes.
we have at least some concept of those.
Oh.
So if you haven't seen the movie, like, there's something wrong with you.
You're seriously missing out.
But basically
did it
what
for the
happens
first time.
is...
Hunter.
Wait,
12
really?
hours ago.
That's whack.
Whack.
Silent film star Don Lockwood escapes a crowd of screaming fans by leaping into the car of Kathy Selden, a stranger who insults his work as an actor and gives him a ride home. Unable to forget, Don once again runs into Kathy at a studio party where she attempts to throw a cake in his face but ends up hitting Lockwood's co-star Lena Lamont. Lockwood spends weeks trying to find Selden again as she got fired from throwing a cake at Lena Lamont.
But
Lena's a jerk. He manages to find her again weeks later as a dancer in another film that the studio is filming, and she admits that she is in fact a big fan of Lockwood's. He professes his love for her, and they have some cute moments. And then fast forward a bit, when the jazz singer comes out, Lockwood's latest film, The Dueling Cavalier, quickly adapts to become a talkie, though the film is ridiculous and bombs its preview screening. Selden Lockwood and his childhood friend Cosmo come up with an idea to save the film by turning it into a musical, using Selden's voice to overdub Lamont's shrill voice. Though the studio plans a publicity campaign to launch Selden's career following the film's release, Lamont threatens to sue if they let the word get out that Lamont had been overdubbed in the film. And then, fast forward a little bit more to the premiere, when the newly renamed Dancing Cavalier premieres and does very well because of Selden singing. When Lamont goes on stage to talk to the crowd, is encouraged to sing, she lip syncs with Selden's voice, and then the curtains pull back, and they reveal that Selden is the singer, and then
Gasp.
yes.
Then the film ends with Selden and Lockwood kissing in front of a billboard advertising their new film, Singin' in the Rain. And
Hurry.
that's it. It's not really a plot movie, even though there's definitely a driving plot. But also, plot summaries are hard.
I thought you did great. You won.
Thanks.
Did good.
Anyway, it's fun, and I like it. And it was $600,000 over budget. And it cost them like $2.5 million to make, which is like $24.5 million today. So it was a good time, I think.
Good. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Yeah.
How what? Huh? You telling me we got to talk about more of the production garbage now?
Garbage.
Could be fun.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we already were talking about the songs before I decided to detour, because I did. And you know what? A majority of the songs in the film had been used elsewhere in MGM musicals. So
Interesting.
the film's producer, Arthur Freed, and he kind of was known to write a lot of song lyrics for his movies. He was head of MGM's what's called the Freed unit, which was like, basically he was producing and in charge of like all of their like very fancy, shiny musicals that the studio put out. He wrote lyrics to a bunch of songs in a bunch of movies. And the music, I guess, would have been by Herb Brown. But he wrote all the lyrics. And then basically he approached this writing duo who he'd worked with on a few different musicals, and he was just like, kids, you're going to write a movie called Singin' in the Rain. Just put all my songs in it.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
So he got the writing duo Betty Comden and Adolph Green in there to just do that shit. Which is weird.
Right.
At least from my perspective, that's weird, because I don't think of musicals as being very corporate in that sense. Maybe just because people that are really into musicals are very like enthusiastic and, I don't know, earnest it's weird that they're just like, I don't know. We have all these songs sitting around that we've used before, and I guess we could probably make some money if we're just like, I don't know, write some narrative that like kind of vaguely connects all of these songs so we don't have to pay money for rights. Which is actually why originally Compton and Green refused the offer originally. Because they had been told by their agent that their contract stated that they were to write every song in the pictures that they wrote. Because, you know, that's pretty good. You want to be writing the songs because the more songs you have written, you know, you get royalties, all that stuff. So it's not really a good deal for the writers to just kind of string together some connections between songs that the producer already wrote. But it turns out after 2 weeks, they found out that their contract didn't actually say that, and that their like previous agent had just kind of lied to them about that. So they're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So that's fun.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's fun.
So they only wrote 2 songs for the film.
Wow.
Being Make 'Em Laugh, which is kind of the best song in the film anyway.
It's a song.
And Moses Supposes, which I think
Love that.
is interesting because it's probably the one that, knowing it's a jukebox musical, you would think had just been something they'd had to stitch together because it's just so random,
Yeah.
you know?
I like that song.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. I
It's
like
so
both of
fun.
those sequences. So
I feel
that's
like
cool.
they're just as disconnected from the rest of the movie as any other song.
You know, that's how musicals are, I guess. Okay, like
Not all of them.
to me,
But it's okay. Like,
it feels like they did a surprisingly good job
yeah.
at like masking the fact that this is like somewhat of a jukebox musical.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I didn't know that for like years, and I watched it over a Skype call with my mom because it's her favorite movie of all time, and she didn't even know that.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. Also, friend of the pod, Aiden, didn't know that originally, and it's his favorite musical.
Wow.
And then he read a whole book on how it was made, and then sold it before he could give it to me to research this
How
episode.
rude.
But yeah, he was like, I didn't know that, and it's amazing that, cause like it works really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are like some disconnected sequences, like that, like really long Broadway melody ballet thing.
The like
Gotta
10-minute
dance.
segment.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like 17 minutes actually.
so
It's really long,
long.
but it's cool.
It's kinda fun.
It's really cool. But yeah, it doesn't connect super well to everything else.
Yeah.
Did you read about how that segment was inspired?
No, I didn't get much information on it.
I know some
Ooh,
things.
yes, share.
I just know that it was like this movie was being made right after the An American in Paris came out, and that was just so well received and widely popular. So people were encouraging the director to make a dance segment in Singin' in the Rain that's very similar to segments in An American in Paris to follow the trend. But it just didn't have the same vibe because it just didn't fit in the movie very well. But that is why he included it. So
That
it was
makes
like
sense.
a very late addition to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That does make sense. But also, yeah, because the director of this film, well, I guess it's co-directed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen, who did An American in Paris as
Right,
well.
yeah.
So they directed and choreographed that one as well. Which is interesting because when we get into like the reception to this movie, it was just kind of seen as, at the time, like inferior to their previous film, and so it didn't get as much attention.
Yeah.
It still did very well.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know. It didn't get like a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah.
But I think An American Paris actually won Best Picture. So
I need to
Yeah,
watch that.
yeah, me too. It's on for the further watching segment because I just do it the same way every time. An American Paris is there. Actually, it wasn't directed. I'm wrong. Kelly did not direct that one. He just choreographed it.
Okay. I was going to say, I know he was a part of it somehow.
Also, Gigi is a further watching film, which is
Yes,
the
I
same
need
director
to
as
watch
American
that
Paris.
too. These are all Broadway musicals too. So
And they're all, I think, Arthur Freed
Nice.
produced thingamajigs.
Look at him go.
And then On the Town from 1949, which has the same writers as this film.
I
So,
did not know that one.
yeah, I'd never heard of it either. Yeah, cool. So, when Compton and Green got on board, they're just like, they just looked at when all of these songs were written, and they're like, I guess that's kind of the transitional Hollywood period.
That's it. That's
So
the one.
we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna set it there.
I thought it was cool.
And it works really well. It's fun to have 2 movies in a row about that, essentially.
Basically, yeah. I mean, honestly, that aspect of it was my favorite part.
Mhm.
Just seeing all of the awkwardness around trying to just figure out the technology of putting sound into movies, and just the awkwardness of that is pretty cool.
Yeah, like that's I think what I remembered most about it from like my childhood was just I remembered all of those scenes of them like trying to like hide the microphone in
Yeah.
places and the audio being weird. Like there's very good writing and very like funny comedic bits that have nothing to do with like the music, which is kind of fun because I feel like I don't get that out of a lot of other musicals.
It's
Just
true.
fun, like I guess the audio in particular of like, you know, Lena like going back and forth and the sound
Yeah.
being weird as she's talking. I don't know. That's just a very fun like kind of production gag that I just really appreciate, that like this movie is good because the writing is good, because the music is good, and because the production is good.
Yes.
Which is 3 elements that sometimes I don't care for in musicals.
But
Anyway,
they did good.
so originally they were going to make what ended up being Gene Kelly's character like a Western actor who, like, when the era of silent Westerns ended, fell back on being a singing cowboy. And so they were considering Howard Keel for that role. And then the writers, as they were continuing to write the movie, they're just like, you know what? It's kind of lame. I don't know if I like this. And they just
It's
kept
not
thinking
good.
about the like concept of like a romantic swashbuckler kind of character instead.
That's so
they're just
funny.
like, Gene Kelly would be perfect. And so they kept trying to talk to Kelly about it, but he was really busy with An American in Paris. So
Gosh darn his success.
I know. And another issue that they ran into in the writing room was that they could not figure out how to open the movie. Like, they really couldn't figure out how to open the movie. Like, they had
funny.
3 different concepts. They're like, we could have a film premiere, we could do like a magazine interview, or we can do like the whole like star meets girl, star loses girl trope sequence. And they had no clue what they wanted to do. Like, so much so to the point that they were going to go back to MGM and like give them back their advance and just quit. They were like, we can't figure out what to do,
Jeez.
which is wild. Because the only reason that they continued to be on the project is because Comden's husband got home from New York and was like, hey, you could just do all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Make it work.
And they're like, oh,
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Oh my gosh.
That was
It's a really good
great,
opening
fun
sequence.
opening,
It
yeah.
is.
yeah.
It's a lot of things, and the inaccurate narration is always really
Dignity.
fun. And
Love
like,
that.
oh man,
Always
so
dignity.
good. And I started thinking too, or at least while I was watching it, I was like, at least I would be willing to guess that maybe this is what I write, but like, I don't know where I'm thinking with this. But like watching that, his like backstory, as it were, the lead up to like his career, and being like, oh, we've heard about these people who were in like vaudeville stuff and then in film, and I was like, that seems like that's what he's doing now.
Exactly.
And like,
Mhm.
oh, like that's part of the history of this character that they're doing now. It's like doing stage stuff, perhaps unsuccessfully, to then doing, you know, the unglamorous film work.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
he's
getting-
kind of in that like Chaplin Keaton type
yeah, totally
thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just kind of and then stumbling his way into success ultimately. And that was kind of cool.
And just, I love it because he's not a good actor, not a particularly good actor, and he just has to be okay with that.
Yeah.
He's got to run with it.
Because he's vaudeville. Like, yeah, it's like, imagine Buster Keaton getting put in a bunch of like dramatic romances.
Right. Yeah.
It would suck.
Yeah.
I was going to say Chaplin at first, and then I realized Chaplin could do it.
Yeah.
Because Chaplin
Right.
has done
Chaplin
it.
is capable.
He's fine.
Because he does everything. I'm not going to go into my Chaplin bit again, but gosh dang it, I love him.
Calm down.
I watched Monsieur Verdot recently,
Ooh.
which is his, I think it's 1947. It's the film he did after The Great Dictator.
Okay.
And it's fully a talkie again, but it feels much more comfortable in being a talkie.
Yeah.
And it's just really dark. It's like it's a dark comedy about this guy who just kind of marries rich women and then kills them and gets all of their money.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid.
And there's this bit where he wants to test out this new kind of poison because apparently there's like, it doesn't show any trace, so nobody would know how the person died.
Okay.
And he just finds this like homeless girl off the street, and he like takes her to his house, and he's having a chat with her, and he's like, "Oh man, doesn't life just kind of suck though? Like, wouldn't, like, if you were given the option to just like die peacefully, easily, like, wouldn't you just want to?" And she's like, "Nah, life is like really good actually. Like, I'm really happy."
Nah.
And then she starts talking about like how she just got out of jail, and like how she was taking care of her husband who was like disabled, and then he died, and it was like all this stuff. And then you see him like just start to feel really bad because like she hasn't touched her like wine yet, but like there's poison in there. And he's just like, "Oh, I think there's cork in your glass," and he goes and he like switches it out. And
Oh my gosh.
anyway, it's fun. That movie opens up with them being like, "Man, why does Verdot just have that incinerator going still? Like, it's been going for days." And he's just like picking flowers, and
Oh my gosh, that's so dark.
it's really fun. Anyway, that's my detour. It's
I
a
like
good
that
movie.
detour.
Fun.
But
We like
yeah,
that guy.
it's great.
I also like some guys.
Guys is good.
Ryans.
How many?
Goslings.
How many Goslings?
How many Goslings?
Yeah.
Just one.
How many Ryans?
Baby kiss.
3.
3 Ryans?
Ryan Gosling, Ryan Tedder's really cool, and Ryan Reynolds is cute.
And
Yes.
Johnson.
Who even is that? I don't even know who that is. What the heck? No one's ever heard of that person.
He's like best friends with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, Joseph, my love.
It's true.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Make him laugh.
There's a lot of people who wish they didn't know who he was.
Make him
That's
laugh.
true. Make him laugh.
Make him laugh.
Okay, so like, I feel like I've seen so much good like Last Jedi positivity on the Twitter timeline lately, and then like this content creator I follow came out the other day, and he was like, "Hey," it was kind of a dumb tweet because he was like, "I've liked The Last Jedi since before it was cool to like The Last Jedi," and everyone in the comments was like, "No."
You've been canceled.
Movie sucks and you suck.
You're
and
dumb.
they weren't really that bad, but like everyone was like negative about it, and I was like, wow.
It's fun.
I feel like generally I see more, at least like half and half.
Right.
But like it seemed fairly unanimous, so I like made a reply that was positive, and I was like,
It's pretty fun. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway.
Good times. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure is.
My love. Marry
Just a
me.
little bit.
He says something about the casino.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good.
It's not as good
And
as
that's...
his Knives Out cameo is still the best.
I can't even remember What do you think of that?
Her sister's like watching a movie or show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's like the voice.
Oh yeah.
We have the nanny cam footage. I'm like, yes.
No.
That's it. Anyway,
Good times.
continue.
Okay. So, Singin' in the Rain, a movie that we
Yes.
haven't even really thought about for the last 10 minutes.
Anyway, it's like our little
We've gone off
Broadway dance
in
segment
terms.
detour.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it
It
doesn't
just
really
like
fit, but
watching
it's
the
there.
movie.
doesn't fit, but it's kind of fun.
Uh,
Gotta dance. Okay. So, there are a few changes from the drafts originally. Like, you notice on the poster for Singin' in the Rain, all three of the leads have raincoats and umbrellas,
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, that's not in the movie,
in
though.
the opening.
Yeah,
True.
exactly. Right. Well, apparently the original Singin' in the Rain sequence was just going to have all three of them, and they were going to be like exiting the premiere or exiting a bar with the idea, like instead of the Good Morning sequence, it was going to be Singin' in the Rain. Like they come up with the idea to make it a musical, and then they leave the bar that they're hanging out at, and then they do the Singing in the Rain sequence.
Interesting.
And so that was filmed, or no, it actually wasn't filmed. I don't think. They only filmed the title sequence bit, but that was originally what the sequence was going to be. And then the empty soundstage sequence with like Kelly being like, "You were made for me, and I was made for you," all that stuff, is originally going to be like a medley of different stuff, taking place through like several studio backlots in this like massive tour, and it would have been really cool. But then they're like, nope, empty soundstage, which works too. It's fine.
It's fine.
And then the Beautiful Girl sequence was going to originally feature Rita Moreno singing "I've Got a Feeling You're Fooling," which are words that I do not know because I don't know that song, and I also don't know who Rita Moreno is.
Me neither.
But apparently that's a thing that was going to happen
But it's there.
for all of those people who care.
Cool.
Yeah. And then they filmed things, and then they cut 3 more scenes. So Gene Kelly originally sang "All I Do Is Dream of You" in a sequence after the party where he was like kind of chasing after the escaped Kathy Selden after she throws a cake at Lena.
Such a good time.
But then I guess it didn't do well at the preview screenings, so they cut it. And now that footage is lost. So that's sad. And then there was another song where Reynolds was singing "You Are My Lucky Star" in a sequence that was also cut after the previews. But that one survives. You can find it on bonus features.
Nice.
And then, do you remember, I don't know if you zoned out during the Broadway Melody Ballet, but there's a really awkward cut at one
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some suggestive movement in the dancing that the code was like, and then the Catholic Church Legion of Decency was like, I have
Wow.
objections.
Wow.
So they cut it.
Whoa.
They really
Just-
said,
just
nah,
cut it out of-
son.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how I feel
And that's
about
why it
that.
has such an awkward, weird cut in just the middle
Yeah.
of that really gorgeous sequence.
I feel like I've read about that too or something, or heard about it at some point, and they were like, it was just some... Did you hear what it was?
Well, there's no actual recording of what it was. So
Oh.
anything that is
Okay.
talked about
So
is
maybe
probably
not.
a rumor.
True. I heard it was something like she just wrapped her leg around him or something, which they had told him not to do. But they're like, real dancers do this all the time at like live shows or something. But just because of the film code, it got cut.
Yeah, that kind of brings up something, because that's something that I've found a lot in researching this, is there are stories of like things that happened on set, or, you know, ways that things were filmed originally or whatever. And then there are entirely like opposing sources that say the opposite. And so there are lots of like myths around the creation of this movie,
Yeah.
just in the public consciousness, that like at the very least we don't have any records of.
Yeah.
So it's possible that that's what happened, but at
It's
least what I
funny
read said
either
that there
way.
are no records of what happened. But it is funny. But it's
They're
also a
like,
shame
Oh.
because it's a really cool sequence, even
It
if
is.
it doesn't fit the rest of the movie.
Yeah. They
And it's
did their
that
thing.
cut was really weird.
It's like very obvious.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like in the middle of a take, and it
They're like, maybe no one will notice.
Doesn't work. But you know what? That's what the Legion of Decency does. Is they strip out
Gross.
good filmmaking.
Thank goodness
they
we
They're like,
tarnish it.
Let's
Thank
make him
goodness
sad.
we moved past that. Mostly. Kind of.
Mostly.
Sometimes
We have different problems now.
Yeah. I feel like there are some hills that people still try to die on, but yeah.
That's fair.
But probably nothing that would happen in this movie would be a hill that anybody would die on anymore.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, some more fun anecdotes from filming. When they did film the Singing in the Rain sequence, so there's a myth that to be able to get the rain to show up on camera, they mixed it with milk. That's not true, apparently.
Oh,
They just
that's
used
sad.
backlighting.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
But apparently it was very challenging to get the backlighting right on that.
That's fair. I like the milk idea better though.
Mhm. That's cool.
Pretty funny.
The rain made his suit shrink during filming,
No.
which sucked. And
That's
it was
unfortunate.
probably
That's good
uncomfortable.
stuff.
And then Gene Kelly had an 103-degree fever while filming the sequence,
No
which took
way.
like 2 to 3 days to film.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't even be allowed to do that
Jeez.
today.
Yeah.
Oy.
Wow.
Yikes.
That makes me
miserable.
sad.
But it's not. But it's weird also because since he like directed and choreographed this film,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious that he was the one making him do that. You know what I mean?
True. So it wasn't like he was
Like, it's
being
not like-
forced to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push through.
I can do it, guys. I'm fine. I don't even feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Like he ran a very strict set. It seems like in some
Yeah.
ways he
High
was pretty rough on
standards.
people, especially as a choreographer.
Mm.
But at least he like practiced what he preached to
That's
an
good.
extent of like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
true.
filmed
Totally.
this sequence during an 103-degree fever.
Yeah, I
Because
did it.
he was also apparently pretty hard on Reynolds because she didn't have any dancing experience before
Oh,
this
wow.
movie. She like was a gymnast, and apparently he was the one that like was insistent on having her in that role, even knowing that she was a gymnast because people like a few different people were suggested, but he was like, no, it's got to be Debbie Reynolds for some reason. But then
I
he was
love Debbie
he was
Reynolds.
really mean. He was really rough and tough as a choreographer, and so much so that she like ran and hid and cried under a piano.
Ooh.
And then apparently Fred Astaire walked in and found her crying under a piano and was like, I'll help you with your dancing. It's
Huh.
okay, don't cry.
Oh,
Wow.
So that's fun.
Fred
Jeez.
Astaire.
Yeah.
My other love. Wow.
It's just,
Imagine.
I was just thinking about that guy a little bit because
I love
this
him.
movie reminded me of The Bandwagon, which came out a year
yeah.
later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very similar kind of style.
Very. Yes.
So that's fun, I guess.
Love that guy.
Also, during the Good Morning sequence, which I'm surprised, but apparently it took 15 hours straight to shoot that. And by the
I
end of
believe
it,
it.
Debbie Reynolds' feet were bleeding. And she
Nice.
had to be carried off of set.
Nice.
So
Commitment, folks.
the point is, she said that the hardest things I ever had to do were childbirth and singing in the rain.
Oh my gosh. That's so iconic, though.
Yeah.
If your feet aren't bleeding and you're not running a high fever after giving your best performance, was it really your best performance?
That's so fair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just so true.
Wait.
Wait a second.
Wait,
Think about it.
I don't know. Apparently, Reynolds and Kelly still ended up being on good terms. Though in like a few interviews, Gene Kelly's like, I don't know why she ever talked to me again because I feel like I was like pretty mean to her on set.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
She's just a nice person.
yeah, and they really do, or did, I guess, seem to appreciate each other.
Yeah.
But like, you can just very easily see the vibe of Gene Kelly just like being there on set, like, no, fuck you, stop.
Pucky, stop. Do it again. Be perfect. Flawless.
Be perfect like me.
Like
and he
me.
looks over at the camera that doesn't exist and just gives a little smile.
And there's like an evil twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
I love Debbie Reynolds.
She's kind of amazing.
We should talk about
Do you
her.
have any other
No.
you don't care for Debbie
comment.
Reynolds at all? No
I-
comment.
What about Carrie
I've
Fisher?
seen her now in a whole one movie, and
If you didn't have
I
Debbie
don't
Reynolds, you
know.
wouldn't have Carrie Fisher.
That's what I'm saying.
oh,
Only
Which
one
means you wouldn't have
queen.
Billy
I
Lord.
completely forgot about that.
Mhm.
I
So
don't know.
This
I
queen
don't know
gave
what to
birth
tell
to
you.
another queen.
Wow.
damn. Well, a princess.
Get it?
Make me cry. Why don't
Who
ya?
then gave birth to an officer of the resistance, I guess.
True.
/ insane person.
It's true.
In Booksmart.
/
She was so funny. Man, what a very talented family.
I know.
Like,
I was thinking
jeez.
that too. Go them.
Like 3 generations of like the best people.
Wait, who is Carrie Fisher's
I'm
child?
trying to think
Billy
if
Lord.
I knew that before.
You didn't
today.
know that Connix was Billy Lord, which was
No, I
Carrie
do.
Fisher's daughter?
I do. I knew the first part of that information. I'm not sure that I knew the second part of that information. I don't know.
Wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're
I
good.
probably heard it at one point and then
Ah,
forgot
yes.
for some reason.
This woman.
She's great.
Billy.
And tragically, Debbie Reynolds died like a few days after Carrie Fisher.
I can't believe she died after her.
Well, the last thing that she said was like, "I just want to be with Carrie."
Oh.
Yeah. So like, also like real sad times for Billy Lord, who just like,
Lost both of them.
yeah, lost her mom and her grandma in like the
Yeah.
same week. Rough
I
times.
remember when that happened. Like everyone was just like, wow,
It
they
was
died
kind of
within
the-
a few days of each other.
This is the worst.
Like a heartbreak.
That was the year where we thought things were bad that year because all the
Oh
celebrities
yeah.
died.
We're like, we're cursed this year. It's the end of the world.
Yeah, and then after that, we just had to come up with reasons why every year sucked after that, and it was like a thing where, oh, I hope the next year is better. And then 2020 hit, and now all of those previous years in comparison seem, all right.
And we're
Like,
just sad.
yeah, in 2016, a lot of celebrities that we love died, but now it's like 2,000 people die a day.
So go us.
That was like 3,000.
Now, yeah, we get like over a 9/11 amount every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So at this point, it's like, well,
Bad.
now it's definitively worse now.
I'd tell y'all to stay home, but by this point, we're probably already seeing the Christmas numbers. So
Oh,
be safe.
that's
Ha,
fun.
ha. Hey, vaccines are here.
Yes.
They're happening. We're gonna cross our fingers for that.
Yes, true.
Speaking of more rough things that happened,
Yes.
Donald O'Connor was put in the hospital after the Make Them Laugh sequence because he overworked himself, and also he smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was just
Okay.
like
You
not
okay,
healthy.
buddy?
And then on top of the overworking, he had to be in hospital. And
Oh.
then apparently, anecdotally, I don't know if this is true, but I heard it a few places. The footage from that sequence was destroyed.
No.
And so then he had to do it again.
No. That happens
Uh-huh.
though.
And then, in a weird twist of irony, Jean Hagen, who played Lena Lamont, her own voice was used for the overdubbed voice.
Wait, no way.
sequences. Yeah, because her natural voice was like so much deeper than Debbie Reynolds. So
Right.
the studio was like, I think we should just go with that.
So Debbie Reynolds didn't actually sing that song?
she didn't overdub it for the at least for her speaking voice.
Oh, for the speaking voice. Probably
but
not for singing though, right?
I don't know.
Because she's
for the
credited
singing bit.
as like on the
Well,
music.
The weird thing is that Reynolds herself was overdubbed in at least a couple of songs
That's so
by
funny.
another singer.
Wow.
Not all of them, but some of them,
My life is a whole lie.
which is really weird and kind of ironic.
Big sad about that.
But it was only like 1 or 2 songs.
That's fair.
Like I think she did the Good Morning.
She had
sequence,
some.
and
Yeah. I believe that. I want to be her when I grow up.
she's pretty cool.
Kathy Selden's the dream role.
That would be awesome. It'd be
Wouldn't
really
it?
cool.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah. So, initial reception was like, good time. This is good. This is a good it's just another fun musical from this long line of fun musicals of this kind that are coming out every day now. And that was good. And so people were like, cool.
And it was good.
But the only Oscar nomination was for Jean Hagen for Best Supporting Actress. It got no other Oscar noms at all.
That's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. It got quite a few Golden Globes, I think, but it didn't get any Oscar nominations other than that. And it only managed to be the 10th highest grossing movie of the year, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
The initial release resulted in a $666,000 profit.
Oh my gosh.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It made $7.2 million in the box office, which is about $70.7 million today.
Nice.
So it did all right.
Pretty good.
Did pretty good. It was a success. But it's much more of a success now than it was then. Like a lot of the things that I've covered. I mean, I think the only report that I did previously of just a movie that was like well received at the time was The Maltese Falcon. But I'm pretty sure every other movie I've covered was like, at the time, people didn't really care about it. And now it's the best film ever.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a classic.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
We love that.
But this is another one that got put on the one of the 25, films that, Library of Congress National Film Registry was like, this is the best film. It's considered the greatest movie musical, like number 1 on AFI's list. It's considered the 5th greatest American film. Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 100%. It's got a 99 on Metacritic. It's on Roger Ebert's Great Movies list. So it's basically like a pretty much as well received and well considered as it's possible for a movie to be.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
It's pretty good.
It is good. And
Fancy.
the first time I watched it in full was at some person's house that I didn't know, and they were just like, okay, we're going to put on this movie now, and you all have to sit here and watch it.
Yay.
And I looked over at my friend, and neither of us had seen it in its entirety, and we were just like, wait a minute. But this is amazing.
Ooh.
It's good.
So it wasn't like against your will.
Well, I mean, I watched the movie against my will.
Fair.
But then within the first 5 minutes, I was like, this is incredible.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
So that's.
Wow.
I think that's all I had to say. Man, what a rambly report that was.
I love it.
Hey, that's
no, I
pretty
thought it was
good.
good.
There's a pretty good report.
And
you
for
made there.
Hannah's modern remake, we'll cast, obviously, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, and...
Have it directed by Damien Chazelle?
Yes. But we need a Cosmo.
Hey, wait a
I need
second.
a good modern But no, actually, legit, who would be a good modern day Cosmo?
I don't know if there's anybody with that kind of talent.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, perhaps?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, yeah. I guess
was
Joseph
literally
Gordon-Levitt's
gearing
the
up. I was
only
like-
person with that kind of talent. Because
Joko.
I don't know if we actually mentioned it on the podcast, but
We
we
did
watched
not.
off podcast that on SNL a few years ago, Joseph Gordon-Levitt did the Make 'Em Laugh sequence,
And he killed it.
and it was really good. And he's great.
He'd be
He's the
a
only
really
person that should do that.
Adorable
There you
Cosmo,
go.
actually.
I can't think of any other A-list celebrity that seems like they have it in them.
Me neither.
Be a great way for him to come back more.
Yeah,
I
'cause
know
it's
he's
been a while.
I know he's been in stuff lately, a couple things, but they're not big.
Yeah, he hasn't been
He
doing
deserves more.
the big things lately. He should be the lead in, or he's got to be one of the main cast of characters in the Knives Out sequel, right? I'd be surprised if he wasn't. He's in every Ryan Johnson movie.
Would be great.
Is he in the first one?
Well, I mean,
Just the
just
cameo
that we
mentioned.
have the
Just
nanny
a
cam
little
footage.
voice line that you kind of hear on the side.
Yeah,
Oh, but he's
But-
not actually in it.
he
is a small role in every
Yeah,
single
I
one.
was gonna say he's in every movie that Ryan Johnson has made.
That's
In
funny.
Brick, he's the lead. Brick's really good.
He's
Watch-
also the
watch
lead in
Brick.
Looper.
Yes, which is also great.
I need to watch that.
Looper's cool.
He's got a
Bruce
somewhat
Willis.
interesting bit in Brothers Bloom, I guess.
I need to see that still. I think that's the only one I haven't seen.
That one is probably his worst film,
Yeah.
but it's also the most fun. It's
Cool with that.
it's a really good time.
Yeah, I do really want to see it for sure.
Yeah.
I expect to at least enjoy it somewhat. I'll get there.
Do you
Make it work.
think that there's going to be another movie before the Knives Out sequel that Ryan Johnson comes out with, or is that
Wow.
just going to be it? Do you think the Star Wars movie is ever going to happen? I feel like it's
No.
probably dead in the water.
I think it's dead.
You're dead in the water.
I think it's
Which
long gone.
sucks.
There's no way. They made a whole movie trying to undo his movie.
I know,
There's
but they never
no
like officially
way.
canceled it or fired him
I
like they like
know.
to make a big stunt of doing every time they don't like somebody.
I
You know what I
guess.
mean?
Fair.
So I could like
I-
maybe someday.
What I'll say at this point, I would be very surprised if it did continue and go
Yeah.
forward.
Like he doesn't need it.
No.
It's just that I need
But
it.
my God. My God, I need this.
My God. I need this. Yeah. Well, now that they announced the whatever it is Rogue Squadron movie that Patty Jenkins is doing, which is going to be good.
Give Patty everything.
It's a
Patty.
I need to rewatch Wonder Woman because I remember really liking everything except for again the third act, which is just like that's embarrassing.
No, you're right. Well, there's parts of the third act that I like. But you're right.
I don't think there was anything I liked about it personally. I don't remember much.
That
All I remember is the
is
dumb
fair.
mustache. Okay.
Yes.
The bad CG,
Yeah.
and then everybody
No.
being like, you know how were the Germans in World War One were kind of bad guys? I guess I wasn't really a bad guy. I was just under mind control, which
I don't
even
think-
though it's a fantastical thing, it felt gross.
I think you deeply misread that movie. I'm sorry. That
Oh,
is not
But
the
there's
point
literally
of that
the
movie
bit
at
that
all.
happens where
the
they,
point
like,
is the
they
opposite of
defeat
that.
Ares,
Yeah.
right?
Hey,
and then they're
hey.
like come out of their like stupor.
Hey.
What?
Yes.
No.
No,
I
am
know.
wrong?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shots have been fired.
I'm
Wrong time for
sorry.
debate.
I know it's okay. We can talk about it another time.
Am I wrong?
Do it off pot. You're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
You're gonna-
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
The wicked witch.
Anyway. Wonder Woman 1984 comes out in a couple days.
I'm excited.
Of recording
Wahoo.
this, and I'm excited to watch it.
It's a good excuse to
job.
hang out on Christmas.
Yes.
Sorry, family, we have to.
That's true. We could just ditch
Gotta
all
watch.
plans and commitments.
I mean, that's
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find
Anyway.
you?
I'm really good at harmonization.
Thanks.
I can make anybody sound worse.
Singin apostrophe
Can make
in
anybody
the
sound bad.
rain is a pretty cool movie.
If you don't watch it, I don't like you.
Basically, like it's okay to not be a musical person, I guess. Like I'm not, but I've been getting more into them and I've been having a good time with it.
And you're
But if
a
you don't
winner.
like this one,
We have issues.
then like just saying you belong in Carbonite.
Yes. Also, the costumes are bomb. And the
They
same
are.
person who did costumes worked on Gone with the Wind.
Oh, really?
They did.
Oh,
and they
Interesting.
said that because I looked up a couple of things, because I got excited, because I love this movie.
Heck
And
yeah.
they said that they spent the most time on these costumes, more than like any other movie in their career. And
That's
they did Gone
amazing.
with the Wind.
Wow.
So this
Jeez.
one got more time,
That's wild.
which it deserved. Gone with the Wind is dumb.
Yeah, like that weird green checkered whatever thing that Cosmo wears
I love it.
is amazing.
Glorious.
And apparently it's like on display in some costume museum now.
Wow. I wanna
But
go
like
see
Debbie
it.
Reynolds had a thing where she would like buy up all the props to movies and stuff.
Ooh.
And she had like all of the things from Singin' in the Rain. And then she sold them all off at auction like
Wow.
9 years ago or something. And now it's dispersed again. But for a while she was like, I own everything from this movie.
It is mine.
Yeah. Which
I
is
should do
interesting
that.
to be nostalgic for like a movie that like broke you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's fair.
But she
I would
was.
probably do the same thing though. Like I tried to buy a costume from a play I did. I was like, can I please keep this? Because I will wear this all the time.
Did they say no?
They said no because it was part of like an ensemble show. And so they needed to like sell it as a group. Like
That's
all the costumes
rude.
went together. And so they're like, no, we're selling it to a different company who's going to do the show next. And like they need all the pieces. So if they're missing one out of the 9, then
That's
it screws them over. I was like,
BS.
fine,
Rude.
whatever. Be that way.
Eh.
It's
Well,
fine.
you know, as far as rankings go of all the
10
movies
out
we've
of 10.
covered so far, it's kind of it's up there. It deserves it. It's great.
It's
I like
11
looking
out
at
of
Gene
10.
Kelly's face.
Same. He wins.
It's It's in the upper echelons of movies that we've covered.
Yes.
It's definitely in the upper echelons of American movies we've covered.
Yes.
How do you feel about it, whatever your name is?
Oh, me? I'm Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Hananana.
I'll have you know I'm Hannah the third.
The third.
Okay.
There's a new na added to the name every time. Hananana. Next will be Hananana na. The fourth.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. My take on this movie is I like it. The singing and dancing is like, it's really good, but also it's like not the thing that like makes my brain go, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good dance.
But like I'm watching it and I'm like, holy crap.
How do they do that thing
Jeez.
where they spin, but
Yeah.
they also don't
Like,
spin?
whoa. Yeah, so like I still kind of appreciate it. So that part's kind of like meh for me. Good and bad. I don't know. It's not bad. It's whatever. I don't know. I'm getting mixed up in my own thoughts again. But like also I really, really like I said, the like all just the notions of the awkwardness of the industry stuff. And that was really cool, and I like that a lot.
It's delightful.
So it's a good movie, and I gave it 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
Fine.
But it's fairly low on the ranking for me.
Of course it is. Because, you know, you're just such a Gone with the Wind shill.
I'm a little. It's above Gone with the Wind. It's right now. I have not sorted everything on the list. It's at number 14. I don't have every movie on the
14
list
of
for some reason.
21? Potentially?
Yes, it is right under A Star Is Born right now.
Wow. That's
Star
fair.
is Born is fun.
I like that too. I'm more attached to this one though.
Yeah,
I
no,
am
and
too.
like I totally get that. But like just for me personally, as it always comes down, it's just like I just am not super engaged all the time, and like my brain yells at me when I know that I'm sitting through a song and I'm like, this movie has ground to a halt because of these sequences. And that's okay.
See,
but also I'm like, meh.
I feel like that is how I feel about musicals
Yeah.
sometimes. And there's like this vibe of like, I gotta sit through this song then to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Oh, another song hit. I don't feel that way with this movie.
Yeah,
The movie
no,
just
that's
like
right.
was over, and I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
What? Where did it go? And then as I was doing the research, and I was like, there's that many songs in this movie?
Wow.
I may have also been in a like, I don't know, slightly cynical, tired mood because I watched it late last night.
You tend to
Fair.
watch the movies late at night, and then the next day when we record the episode, you're just like,
I cheat
don't
myself.
know.
I cheat myself out of potentially good experiences, I suppose.
We'd also just watched some other weird movie.
We did. We watched Borat last night.
Oh, right.
I didn't.
It's
I fell asleep.
Very interesting movie.
Well,
I've
it's
heard it doesn't
5
hold
stars
up.
for me. Not that anybody asked.
Borat?
No! Singing in the Rain. I just wanted to
Yeah,
randomly
yeah.
throw my opinions in it.
I haven't logged
Thank
it
you.
yet because I haven't decided, because I'm like 4.5.
Yeah, you did.
5.
That's how you log it.
Did I
You did
log it?
On
Yeah,
Letterboxd?
you totally did.
When did
Yeah.
I do that?
I sent you a screenshot of your tags because I was
I
surprised
have no
by them.
memory of logging this film.
Oh my god.
It's definitely there. I also
Literally
saw
did.
it.
What?
Yes.
Okay, it must
It's
have been
very
really
real.
late last night when my brain wasn't
It
working.
was. It was pretty late.
It happened.
Okay.
But yes, I just wanted to
Anyway.
say that this movie is probably one of the movies that like shaped my love for theater
Hmm.
and like Broadway style music.
If I'd seen this early on in my life, like in its entirety,
Yeah.
I would be right where you're sitting
Yes.
now.
It's like
I'd be
very
on the other end of this podcast room.
on the other side. It's like very much influential is what I would say on me. I don't know. And also I think once when I was like 14, I used it to flirt with somebody because I was like,
Whoa.
I like this movie and you like old movies. And then we had a really early morning class and I was like, they were like, good morning. And I was like, good morning, good morning. And they were like, I love that movie. I love that you know that movie. I was like, I know.
I know.
I'm so,
And now you love
I'm
me.
just, yeah, exactly. And then they fell in love with me.
My mom used to sing that song in the morning all the time.
I love that song. So yeah, I used to sing that song a lot.
It's a a good song.
Here's my deep, dark secret.
Deep.
I finished
Dark.
editing my ranking for the podcast.
Oh boy. Is it still 14?
17.
No!
I'm sorry.
Shit.
You know me.
I know
I'm
how
sorry.
you are. You need to watch the movie twice because Sunset Boulevard would have been at the bottom too.
No.
You gave it like 3.5 the first time you watched it.
I'm a bitch.
You're not a
Bitch.
bitch. I think we should just like. I mean, it's not really essential, is it? But it would be cool, for the sake of the pod, to like give the movie as much of a chance as we can give it.
Yes.
So like, if we
Definitely.
get together now 2 days a week, and one of those days is us to watch the movie,
True.
it's possible.
Ooh, wah, ooh.
Ooh, wah, ooh.
Or we could, if we have more time during the day, we can just watch it and then record like we used to.
Damn. I remember when we did that once.
Remember when we used
For a
to
trip
bank
to the moon.
episodes?
It's true. What? No,
Oh man.
that's not
3
real.
in a
We
day?
never did that.
That's not real.
It's not real. It's all in your mind.
Never ever.
Is The Shining?
Hannah, watch Dr. Sleep.
I kind of missed
Okay.
that though.
Dr. Sleep's dope.
It
That was fun.
actually.
It was exhausting and fun.
Yeah.
Was.
Is The Shining on our list?
Yes.
Is it?
No.
I don't think it is.
No, because we did 2001.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been.
But
If we had
we'll-
any duplicates, it would have been.
Both great.
That's okay.
Oh,
I
boy.
digress. That's all I have to
boy.
say.
I'm really curious to see what Hannah thinks of 2001.
I know what that is.
That's going to be a good time.
Dun-na!
Oh, boy. I've like seen that movie like a weird amount at this point.
Really?
Like, I don't know, because we watched it.
We watched it in
theater
IMAX,
forever ago.
and it was really uncomfortable because it was
Yeah.
so loud.
Yeah,
Don't like
kind
that.
of awesome. And then I watched like most of it in that class,
Oh,
and I feel like maybe I even saw it another time. Maybe I didn't. I'm probably making that up. I don't know. It feels like more than it probably is.
I definitely do need to give it a rewatch. So I'm happy.
Just watch it for the podcast.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at this point. Is like I feel like I can't watch anything that is on the list until it's like time,
Mhm.
because I'm like I'm gonna watch it eventually anyway. So
Well, pretty much all of the movies, like all the ones that we've covered so far, like a vast majority of them I had never seen before.
yeah, me too.
So, but now all the next ones I pretty much have. So I think there's only 37 films left
Whoa.
to cover that I haven't seen.
Jeez,
Oh,
I have
damn.
not seen a lot of them for sure. Probably most of them, but like I keep thinking sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should watch like Evil Dead 2, and then I'm like, it's not time yet. I'm glad that it's on there. It's pretty fun.
We got
But
some
I'm like,
weird picks on there, and I'm excited for them.
Yeah,
For listening to this
hooray.
podcast, go look at
Wahoo.
our website. It's just I realized when I typed in the like metadata for the website, it just says no title.
What?
No.
It doesn't. It just I don't know how to use
It's
it.
fine.
It's hard
My-
to make it look good on our
I'll
site.
do it for you.
We'll fix it. It's
Sad.
fine.
Ah.
And listen.
Maybe I'll
find our
make a day
shit
of trying to make it pretty.
for like 4 hours.
Whoa.
So,
Isn't that what you want?
With bunny trails.
Yes.
aw,
And maybe we can make Hannah more
So good.
and maybe
Give us money.
weird.
what was that thing that when you tell me that you don't have $5? It's not that you have $5.
Yeah.
What you should be saying is
Oh, roasted.
Which is awful. It's a
we leave you with that.
Exactly.
I really don't need your money
I really want it.
It's okay. It's fine. It's mostly for the
on
val.
episodes more
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work to.
Be.
Hooray.
Anyway, thanks. And then we end it, and I go on for a long time when I'm see the person who I cut to say something at.
I usually like lately. I think about it and cross my mind this time.
Wait,
my
you go
brain,
first.
My brain literally doesn't work in this situation.
or something?
Movie right now.
Hold your freaking horses.
Like 5 minutes, I'll probably be able to tell you something.
There's this really
Oh, man, I'm
lovely
really excited
one.
for it.
I can't even remember. Like
Till all the stars go.
car with Kathy.
And you've seen them all.
I don't know. That anyway,
Sure
that's
you
it.
don't
That's
have
all I got.
Anything, Gunter?
No.
Repeat every line, huh?
Can you just sing
you
all
felt-
of wait. We just need him to sing all of Make Him Laugh, and we'll forget. Gotta
Make 'em
go.
laugh.
I gotta go
I'm
take
not gonna
the.
go. I'm so upset with you.
Maybe.
Does it taste good? Isn't that what you're...
Okay, I have a confession to make.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I actually think it's really cool. I really like the bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was very
And
interesting.
he's trying to get the age. He like dances poorly, and it's good. I love it.
So I
Anyway,
think Debbie hired someone else.
that
'cause she
makes sense.
had no
yeah, she probably couldn't
experience.
have done that. Have any training?
Yes.
She's a gymnast.
My feet would have also bled.
They would just like become just sacks of broken bones.
Yeah,
Bones.
aren't they?
Wait. Ew, that's so gross. I don't like
That's
it.
what
Felt like you
happens when we
needed-
end the podcast.
Oh, bye.
Oh wait, that's
Oh, I thought you were ending. Oh, good. I'm funny.
look what man hath wrought with these sound effects.
8 minutes later.
Did you stop it?
People
Oh, okay.
think we lead left. He says it.
Dang, bro, that sucks.
Don't tempt me.
Don't
Are we ready
tempt
for
you
this?
to
To fart.
you know,
Wait,
you
are
just-
you recording?
they just kind of fall like, and it's not very exciting or fun. It doesn't make a good noise. You're just
I just want to make the sounds like Donkey and Shrek.
oh yeah.
Did
Can
you
you not pay
see-
yourself for 5 minutes?
Did you see the bird video from last night?
No.
Birds?
It's very short. It's like 5 seconds long, but it's just him doing the and then like exploding.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. But this is not the ASMR episode.
No.
Hi.
What?
Wait, are we recording?
Yes.
We've
Heck yeah.
We're always recording.
You're so
That's
right.
Should
something
be.
you may not know.
We should
Anything you say can and will be used against you, specifically against to pit our audience against you. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, good.
Wow.
I love that. Well, if we're recording, I was just going to go ahead and do a cool intro or something that I felt like, but I don't know. It's just me.
Honestly, after what you said 2 nights ago, when you were talking to yourself in your room, I don't think the audience wants you to do it anymore. Like, I think you're canceled at this point.
Sucks.
When I was talking to myself in my room
2 days ago.
and you
You what
you
heard
heard that?
Everyone heard that.
No.
The president of the United States heard that.
Good. That's what I wanted.
I want him to hear.
I don't know what we're
My
referring.
imagination is now running wild with what this could possibly be.
It's not good. Anyway.
Cool. Anyway.
Ahem.
Give me that intro.